I was watching some SHOT Show footage that was taken by Blade HQ, and now they were over at the Kizer booth. The representative there was showing them this carbon fiber Gemini, and oh man, ever since I saw it, I knew, oh yeah, I need that. So here it is, and let's do this. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jay, and if this is your first time here, well, welcome to my channel, and consider clicking on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. Right about now, you should be looking at some specs. These are all measurements that I did take myself, but I will also list them for you down in the description below, just in case if you want to follow along. I am really excited to show you this Blade HQ exclusive Kizer Gemini in carbon fiber. Yeah, we'll get into what I like, what I don't. First, how about we take care of those size comparisons so you can get a good idea of what we're working with today. And we'll start with the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And how about another Spyderco, the Mannix 2. We'll do a couple of Benchmades and the 940. And we'll finish up this section with a, well, this is another Blade HQ exclusive, and this is the blacked out bug out. Now I also brought out that this is the original Kizer Gemini with the titanium scales, because I wanted to show you some of the differences between the two, and to be honest, there really isn't that many. Which reminds me, you're really going to want to stick around until the end of this video, because I have a deep carry pocket clip modification that will work on this carbon fiber. Actually, you know what? Actually, the modification, it'll work on either one of these, so stick around to the end so you can see that. Why don't we talk about first, well, the biggest and most obvious difference between the two, and that being the scales. The Blade HQ exclusive, of course, has the shred carbon fiber, and the original still has the titanium. I am so glad that Kizer decided they stuck with the contoured scales on this exclusive version. And you know, I mean, it's a lot cheaper to flatten out the carbon fiber, but they elected to not go that route, and I appreciate that. And that was one of the reasons why that this one got so little pocket time, because these titanium scales, they are super slick. I mean, like Cold Steel Code 4 kind of slick. Yeah, so I really wouldn't carry this very often. Now, not that the carbon fiber has super traction, but it sure as heck has a lot more than the titanium. Now, I don't know about you, but I could never quite get the action to where I like it with the titanium model. Yeah, I could never get this to drop shut. Super easy to fail the deployment. Man, did they improve that with this carbon fiber. I mean, they really did. This thing fires out with authority every single time, reliably. So the action in both directions is very good, because the detent is much stronger. So that means, yep, if I turn it over, I am not able to shake the blade loose. The next big difference between these two is going to be the locking mechanism. So this, of course, is going to be a frame lock. What they decided to do here with this carbon fiber, yeah, look at that, nested liner lock. So I have to tell you, as a lefty, I really appreciate these nested liners, because with the titanium, you know, I would always have to be thinking about, you know, where my fingers are during the deployment, because if you're pushing too hard on that lock bar, it is simply not going to fire. I don't have to worry about that here. The weight is now the next big difference between the titanium and carbon fiber. So let's weigh this one first. 3.8 ounces. And then the carbon fiber is sitting at, oh my gosh, look at that. Exactly 3 ounces. And that's, oh yeah, they did. This is skeletonized, those nested liners. They skeletonized the inside, so that's good. That's going to be roughly the equivalent 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 AA batteries. Even though that the pivot screw is not, you can see it's not captured. Yep, so you're going to need two T8s to disassemble this, but at least it is very simple to disassemble. I mean, you've just got the 2 body screws and the pivot. Very easy. Unfortunately, there is, of course, a few things that that I dislike. A few changes that I really wish Kizer would have implemented, but they chose not to. Like the sharpening choil. Yeah, there is not one. So unfortunately, if you can see the blade as you get up to the plunge grind, it's kind of got a little bit of a recurve. Yeah, going on. I think what I'm going to have to go ahead and do is probably take like my Dremel, and I'm just going to cut a little bit of a notch in there, because this really does needs a sharpening choil. The pocket clip. Now that is one change that I really wish they would have made. And you can see that, and also, of course, it's not really a deep carry. I mean, there's not a lot hanging out, but of course, you know, it's going to be righty, tip up. No lefty love, but you know, there isn't on the titanium one either, so I guess at least they're consistent. These last 2 dislikes, they really are pretty minor, but you know, they're still gripes, they're issues, so I do want to mention on this carbon fiber, all of the inside edges, like all the way around, they're actually kind of sharp. And lastly, do you notice something that is that's missing? Yep. No, there's no jimping. Not at all. Now, I don't necessarily mind, but I know, you know, a lot of you out there do. Before we get into the pocket clip modification, I do want to talk about the price, because there is a little bit of difference there as well. So the original titanium, this can be purchased for about $170, and I'll make sure and include all of the links down below. So $170, and then now this new Blade HQ exclusive is going to be $150. So I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it is still a difference. And as far as I'm concerned, this is what the Gemini was meant to be. So here's what I'm going to do to make this. This is actually off an artisan cutlery knife, but it's a pretty standard screw hole pattern, you know, just the one on top of the other. And the way that I'm going to make this fit is, okay, so I'll take out these 2 screws, of course, for the clip, but then you see this body screw that's going to come out, and then we're going to just use the 2 clip screws to hold this in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then we'll take a look so you can see. Okay, so here it is. Now at the end of attaching the new clip, you are going to have 1 screw left over. Now remember, this is the body screw. Since we used both clip screws, it's just one of the clip screws went in the body screw hole, so they're obviously the same size. But I brought back out the titanium so you can see the before and after. But you can also, like, this is a clip, you can get this from MXG Gear, and I'll include a link to them as well. But this clip, because it's a pretty standard screw hole pattern, just one on top of the other, so there are a lot of knives that use that configuration. What I really love about this, not only does it work here, as you can see on the carbon fiber, but you can also do it on the titanium one as well if you have it. If you enjoyed this video and you got any value from it, hey, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up. I like those a lot, and don't forget, click on subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Take care.